Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed Bawazir. I'm a student at FIU, majoring in finance in my junior year. So, unfortunately, today I had to record this video in my car because I'm driving back from Tennessee. I went on a road trip this weekend, so I know that's totally unprofessional, but it is what it is. So, today I'll be teaching you guys about utility functions, which is part of chapter 2 in our course Eco 3101. I'll be explaining what utility is, how it's represented mathematically, introduce marginal utility, show you a graph of indifference curves, and relate it to real life example. So let's dive in. So let's start off with something really simple. What is utility? Utility means the satisfaction or happiness a person gets from consuming goods or services. So economists use this idea to explain consumer behavior. So when economists wants to explain what utility means, they use this idea to explain consumer behavior. There are two key concepts of utility. First key concept is total utility. What total utility is? Total utility is simply the total satisfaction from consuming all units, while marginal utility, which is the second concept of utility, is the added satisfaction from consuming one more unit of a good. So let's give an example for further explanation. For example, eating 3 slices of pizza gives total utility, but the happiness from the third slice alone is a marginal utility, because right now we're considering the third slice is an added good, an added unit of a good. It's not as eating the 3 slices altogether, which is the total utility. So let's move in to the second point. What is utility? What is a utility function? A utility function represents a consumer's preferences in mathematical form. So for 2 goods, it might look like this. Here is the formula: u of x and y equal to x to the power 0.5 times y to the power 0.5. This is a Cobb-Douglas utility function where utility increases with more of either good of x or y, but each additional unit gives less extra satisfaction, a concept called dimensioning marginal utility. We can calculate marginal utilities through these 2 functions, as you guys can see. Let's jump to number 3, indifference curves. Now let's look at indifference curves. These curves represent combination of 2 goods that give a consumer the same level of satisfaction or utility. Here is a graph of 3 indifference curves for different utility levels. We will take u equal to 3, u equal to 5, and u equal to 7. As you can see, here is the graph. U equal to 3 is represented by the yellow line. U is equal to 5 is represented by the orange line. Then last but not least, u equal to 7 is represented by the red line. Let's know more about the graph. Each curve is downward sloping and convex, as you guys can see. Downward slope, downward slope, downward slope, and all convex. This shows that if you consume less of one good, you need more of the other to stay equally satisfied. So that is basically what does the graph represent to us. So whenever somebody reads the graph, he can understand what does the graph mean. So it means that you consume less of one good. If you consume less of one good, you need more of the other to stay equally satisfied. Curves further from the origin represent higher utility. So here's the origin, 0x and 0y. The furthest slope is u equals 7. So it has the highest utility. where the orange one has the second highest utility, and the least highest utility is the yellow line, which is u equal to 3, because it's near to the origin. Let's jump into the real life application. Let's consider a real life situation. Imagine I have $10 and can buy either energy drink or granola bars. If I get more satisfaction per dollar from energy drinks, I will buy more of those. My utility function helps explain that decision. Businesses uses this concept to predict demand and design pricing strategies based on consumer preferences. So businesses and companies uses the concept of utility to predict the demand and how would they design their pricing strategies. So they base all of these things based on consumer preferences. So to wrap up everything, utility functions help us understand how consumers make choices to maximize their satisfaction or happiness. We've discussed what utility means, first of all, then explored the utility function and marginal utility, and looked at indifference curves in the graph. And last but not least, we related it to real life. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you guys found this topic interesting as I did.